All right, so I'm refining the tune a little bit more on this car, and I've also added a few more buttons on the dash just for too much data. There's never too much of it. I already had added the AFR and fuel pressure and safety shutdown. Fuel pressure and AFR are safety, so they will trip the safety shutdown as well. So it's kind of like a redundant thing, but redundant is good. So I just added spark cut, which again is how our safeties are configured to cut spark, not fuel with alcohol. You don't want to cut fuel when you're spraying alky. And I added the no launch button, so when I step on the two-step, it lets you know that you're on the two-step. A good way just to check it to make sure stuff is working. Also, we have the overboost button. This car is set about 30 pounds, so at 30 pounds it's going to hit overboost and it's going to kill the spark. And the second one is check engine light with injection low. So that also is a double feature with the low fuel light on the left side of the telltales there. I also do have water duty percent, which is alky injection in this application. And then I go into my tune. You can see that I've been doing some tune. This is VE table 1. So let's go to VE table 3. VE table 3, you can see that I've got all these cells black. That means they've been locked, and you can see that it's only doing stuff above here where you can see the blue and the red. The blue is where it adds fuel, the red is where it takes away. So this obviously is my wide open throttle hitting. And this VE table is pretty close. It's getting there. And then we move it back to our non-alky VE table. And I only have the cells locked in rapid deceleration, like when you come off the gas. It'll skew these cells like crazy. And this one here looks similar, but it's still got some peaks and some valleys right there. So an example, you can go into the VE table. This is VE1, pull it up, and we can right click on it. Or not. Let's try it again. Let's take it out of 3D. We can smooth the cells. And they may change. You may have seen that or not. And then you can't rely on this, though. You have to go in there and, the computer's great, but you have to verify, like right there, 50, 52, and then 52, 2. Just look at little things like that. And then the last thing that's very important whenever I send the car out of here is the authority table. All right, you don't want it to be able to add a whole lot of fuel at idle and cruise. They should be relatively close. But upstairs at wide open throttle, you want it to throw the kitchen sink at it. So 25%, as far as I know, is the max the Ecu-gn can add. And then by the same token, EGO authoritative negative table. You can take away 5% down low, 3%, 8%, and 10%. And I'm probably going to highlight these and only let it take away 5%, because taking away fuel is not something you want. Your tune should be relatively close. It should be plus or minus 2 or 3% almost all the time. And you really don't want it to take away too much fuel, because it could cause some meltdown real quick. But that's about it. This one's getting very close. I'm going to put some more miles on it just because I can, just to make sure it's right. Right now it's 051, so it's 1,051 miles, and things look good. And of course the weather's cold here. It's 43. But I did start driving it when it was warm outside, so I got the air conditioner and all that stuff. And I had a question last week about this, and I responded to that wrong. Obviously the alcohol is not spraying now, and that is just electrical jitter. Bob, if you're reading this and you have something to add to that, chime in. But that was, I was told that that's normal, and I do see it on the other transducer I have in one of my own cars. So that obviously the alky's not spraying. But that's why we got, you know, you configure the sensors and it's not doing anything. All right, that's what I have. This one's coming along really well. We're getting close, and then after that, I have a car very similar to this one with all the same bells and whistles that will be getting everything that this car did. So, and this will pretty much be going forward. You know, if you have a chip, the chip will control the alky. If you don't have a chip and you have an Ecu-gn, or even a Holley does it, XFI doesn't, but any other aftermarket ECU, yeah, I'm going to integrate it. It just makes more sense with the stuff that we can do. It makes more sense. Let's use the technology to our advantage.